So the next question that I have is from a client that I'm currently working with. She has a Rottweiler, and the question that she asked me was, how do I keep my dog out of the plants in the backyard? This is really one of those big picture things, okay? It's obvious that if your dog is over there playing with the plants, that he's just having a lot of fun. Now, that doesn't mean that, your dog gets to go over there and just tear up your plants or whatever. But I do think that a measure of some tolerance for the dog is important, okay? But I don't think that it's okay, like I said, for the dog to just go over there, tear up your plants and do whatever. So one of the things that I like to do with my really young puppies when I'm in the backyard is I actually like to have them on leash. Okay, and if they're destroying things, what the puppy is most likely telling me is that, hey, I want to play. So rather than correcting your puppy for actually being in the, in the plants, and I get that if, maybe a little bit later, like telling the dog that, no, you can't do that, is pulling the dog away from the plants and then using something that the dog thoroughly enjoys. So let me give you a couple of options that actually might be useful to getting your dog to leave the plants alone and maybe even pay more attention to you. So I know y'all seen these, okay? If this is your first time here, maybe you haven't seen this before, but this right here, if I showed you the ones that we use for my dogs, they would look horrible. And the reason is they're just so dirty from how much we play from them. But when I have my dog in the backyard, I love to play interactive games with them. As a matter of fact, before I started this Q&A, about an hour before I did this, I went out and I tried to wear out my dogs because last week while I was shooting this, they were a little rambunctious, and I didn't necessarily want to stop talking to y'all. So you can have the dog going out after your plants or after whatever it is, and then you're gonna take your toys outside, and I really would just begin to encourage you to teach your dog how to fetch, play with your dog using some kind of toy. I like this. I like these balls and string. I also love the leather rag where you're getting to play tug with your dog. But there's other ones. There's a toy called a Jolly Ball. It's a nice round ball. I like to have those in the backyard, and then I encourage my young puppy to play with those rather than playing with or messing with the plant. Okay, now let me give you another way. I talked about place training a few minutes ago. I like to take my dog out into the backyard and I like to put them in a place, and then I like to have things that would normally stimulate them to make them lose their minds, okay? And I like to teach them that, hey, you're gonna have to practice settling down in this place and to become calm. And you could actually put that within maybe 2 to 3 feet of the plants, and then every time the dog came off of its place, you would use your leash, you'd put the dog back on, and when your dog showed great composure, then you could feed the dog or you could release the dog to some play with you. But that's really what I recommend. Now, let's just say that none of that is working. It is okay to use a training tool like a remote collar or a prong collar to tell your dog no. But I just don't think you should be telling your dog no for messing with plants if there hasn't been something better for the dog to do.